Hello, my name is Carly Renistad. I'm the Executive Director of the Mourning Hope Grief Center. For those of you unfamiliar with our mission, Mourning Hope is a grief support network for children, adults, and families before and after a death loss. While we work with individuals of all ages, childhood grief is the basis upon which our nonprofit was founded 27 years ago. Because what we know is that childhood bereavement is remarkably common, yet it's tragically underaddressed. An estimated 1 in 14 or 5.2 million children in the US will experience the death of a parent or sibling before they reach the age of 18. By age 25, this number more than doubles to 13.2 million, but that statistic only accounts for children who've experienced the death of a parent or a sibling, so it's critical to also note that 90% will experience the death of someone significant in their lives before graduating from high school. That may be a grandparent, an aunt, an uncle, a cousin, or close friend. And now COVID-19 is increasing the already disturbingly high numbers of bereaved children and adults. According to a report that was done by Evermore, for every COVID-19 death, approximately 9 Americans will lose a parent, grandparent, sibling, spouse, or child. So as of July 2021, over 624,000 Americans have died of COVID, resulting in over 5.6 million family members, friends, and colleagues who are grieving their deaths. Because of this and so many other reasons, there has never been a time in history where our programs and services were needed more than they are right now. The events of 2020 have made Mourning Hope's mission all the more critical. When the world essentially halted during the pandemic, the demand for grief support soared. Not only were people contacting our agency who recently experienced the death of a loved one, but we were receiving contacts from past Mourning Hope participants who were feeling propelled backwards in their healing process. We were receiving outreach calls from family members who couldn't be present at the hospital when their loved one died or traveled to the nursing home to see their significant person. There were hundreds of stories from folks of all ages who couldn't attend the funeral of their mom or their dad or their sister or their brother, and all these traumatic experiences complicated grief at an unprecedented level. So Mourning Hope adapted. Throughout the last year, our programs and services were delivered remotely to children, teens, young adults, survivors of suicide, and that made them accessible to community members regardless of their geographic location. In addition, our agency began offering free online individual counseling sessions to people of all ages, especially for those folks who were feeling particularly isolated and alone in their grief. And groups were also offered for those who experienced the death of a loved one to COVID. We were one of the first grief centers in the nation to begin this type of program, and we instantly began receiving calls from places as far as Ecuador, Japan, the UK, and while we were unable to meet in person, we served more people last year than we ever have. And through all of this, even though we were unable to hold fundraisers in person and continue with business as usual, we were able to offer these programs and services free of charge. One of the amazing things about Mourning Hope is that it has been free and available to anyone in the community for nearly 3 decades. And offering this service at no charge to people is essential because so many who contact Mourning Hope are dealing with funeral costs, medical bills, the loss of an income stream when it's been a parent who died. So when we are able to say that the service is provided at no charge, thanks to the generosity of our community, you can instantly hear the relief in that person's voice. And much of that is thanks to the United Way and the generous businesses, organizations, the individuals like all of you. So on behalf of Mourning Hope, the United Way, all the phenomenal agencies that benefit from your generosity, I want to personally thank you for your past and your future gifts to the United Way Impact Fund. Through your gifts, organizations like Mourning Hope and dozens of other critical agencies who fill a critical void in our community will continue to support those in need. Ultimately, Mourning Hope's vision is really about making sure that no one ever has to grieve alone. Thank you for helping us make that vision a reality.